Hello, my soul brothers and soul sisters. I am Ron Smith, and this is the Dr. Ron Smith Investigate Show, where we separate the real from fake, the fact from fiction, and give you the winner's edge. And sometimes we're able to turn your water into wine. Today is episode number 11, and this is season 2 for me. And today we're talking the conversation I wish I had. And today we're going to talk about ways to calm financial stress, depression, anxiety, relationship difficulties, social withdrawal, substance abuse. All these things are symptoms of a greater situation, which is financial stress. Stress is anything that causes pressure, exert tension. It's a state of mental or emotional strain, and it can be adverse to the very demanding circumstances. And, this is April and April 15th with tax season. So a lot of people had a lot of financial stress by even getting their W-2s, their 1099s, all these packages together for their accountant, or actually doing their taxes themselves. So we have a lot of stress. So financial stress is that emotional tension, specifically related to money. So what we're going to talk about, stress could be caused by job loss, not making enough money, or spending above your means, or not properly planning your finances. And actually, one of the things that I always remember, one of my college professors always used to tell me, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. Overspending it with credit cards. Some people need that retail therapy to help them get through certain situations. And what I found out is that whether you're making $40,000 or $400,000, whether you are a PhD or you have a GED, basic financial education was not taught in high school, and is not taught in basically in most universities. It is very rare that you hear someone who says that basically they were actually had education in financial literacy. Most of the time, you would have to get that from your family members, or you would actually have to seek that out. Now, I know that we are feeling stress, especially if you're a professional, because you think that you should know certain things. And I think that stress brings on the situation where you feel that you've been hoodwinked, you've been bamboozled, you've been led astray. And it appears that even when we go to our particular government, we are taxed, with the FICA. And I said on numerous occasions that when I got my first real paycheck, I wondered who FICA was. And basically, FICA was the tax on your income that pays for Social Security. And thank God for that, because actually that is the way that you plan for, your retirement or for your future. But nobody really educated you on that. You always have to broker that question to yourself. It seemed that the bank always try to take advantage of you too, where not necessarily, they post the APR, annual percentage rate, how much they can give you on your savings, but you feel like you've been hoodwinked when let's say you deposit $10 in the bank, and basically they actually loan $9 out of that $10 of yours, and they get a better return than what they give to you. And let's look at, most people say you need to invest in, let's say, stocks and bonds. But if you don't have a basic understanding of what you are investing in, you can really get taken advantage of. So basically, it appears that only Wall Street are really gaining from this knowledge. And, I did a whole show on 401ks, and I just briefly, it appears that what you have on paper, you could be a paper millionaire, but about time you get ready to cash that in, it appears that from 0.5% to 4% are taken away from your account in administrative fees and different types of fees. So all of these things, and I'm not going to even talk about the inflation, shrinkflation, and et cetera, et cetera. It seems like everybody is in your pocket or in your wallet, which causes financial stress. So what do you do when you are in those situations? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. Stress causes a physical impact on your body. And if you find yourself in that situation, I will highly suggest that basically you need to probably find things to calm you down. First, what I used to do, I try to see what my blood pressure is. Trying to find that, either from my base of my neck, or I take it at my wrist. Because normally when you're under stress and anxiety, the physical response is what they call fight or flight, which means that basically you're ready to get on guard when you have the adrenaline, or you basically ready to just leave the situation. But I think there's a third option that most people don't talk about, is they actually freeze, which means they don't do anything, which means they basically, as I mentioned in past episodes, we take that envelope, we open it, or we don't open it, and we just put it in that I do it later file. So when you don't examine and take time to really see what your body is going through, you really put it off for another day, which causes you anxiety when you even consider doing something else in your situation. And when you lock into that stress factor or that anxiety, or you worry, and basically anxiety is fretting over and anticipating something happen in the future. Worry is pretty much something that you should have done in the past, and that past is catching up with you, but you're in that state today, which is that stress, that pressure, the tension, the emotional strain, which means that it affects everything else that you do. So how do you actually engage yourself out of that my topic view? So because you don't want to make a rash decision or not make a decision that has long-term effect. Money is one of those things that is vital, almost vital, just like breathing, because it's that necessity of actually being able to create an environment that is pleasing to you and your family. So let's talk about some of the resets. One of the good resets for me, I'm a very spiritual, in tune with my spirituality, and if there's an issue, I pray. I believe in God, and I believe in His Son Jesus Christ. So I will set aside a time that I can devote to really talk to God about this situation. And normally I'll come up with a great solution to that problem. In the meantime, I also meditate, which means basically I look at the big picture and see what are the steps that I need to take in actually doing that. Now, there are situations where I probably just need to get out there in the environment that I'm in and actually just take a walk. I live close to the ocean front, so basically that is a perfect place for me to actually go out, even go out and stick my toe in the water sometimes, walk on the sand, walk on the boardwalk, see the waves come in and out, and I guess that's a good way for me to clear my head. The other times, if I can't get out of their environment, I find me some calm, soothing music, because I'm a jazz lover also, and I find me something that's very soothing that basically I can actually calm down and I won't get in a rush. And it's sometimes I even do the combination of walking and listen to music just to reset, calm down my fears, worries, and anxiety. And normally that is the elixir for me to get through that situation and not make a rash my topic decision. The other suggestion is actually you could take a shower, whether it's a warm or cool shower, something to actually change your physical dynamics of what you're doing. So basically what I'm saying is the key to it is really is your internal that determines your external. So even one of those 5 combinations of things will reset you in the mood to actually that you can deal with those things. But remember, I first started off with this antidote is that people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. So one of the best suggestions that I can give you is that you have to prioritize. And I'm going to go through some things of basically having a plan. There are 5 things that you have to get control of. And this is something so simple. I think that every high school and college student, even if you're going to a junior college or etc., or actually you need to start in elementary school. Income, expense, assets, liability, and the key to all that is cash flow. You have to be able to actually control the cash flow. And after this break that we're going to take, we're going to get into having a plan, how we actually can overcome this stressful situation, ways that we can calm the financial stress. Let's take a break. All right, welcome back, my soul brothers and soul sisters. We are talking about ways to calm financial stress. And I mentioned, this is tax season. We have a lot of anxiety going on. Some people are going to depression. Some people are even having relationship difficulties. Some people are actually withdrawing. And you have people, when they do withdraw, they need something to calm them down, whether they take a drink or they take a smoke or they do both, just to try to minimize what's going on with them. As I state in the first half, that stress is some tension that can be either mental or emotional strain from an adverse or demanding circumstances. And the lack of money can actually produce a physical reaction to you. And those reactions could be basically job loss, somebody not making enough money, you're spending more above your means, and not properly planning your finances. So basically, that's what we talked about. And you know, people used to joke about retail therapy, like basically and I have to admit that basically buying and shopping can give you a dopamine that make you feel good about that situation. But that is a short-term gratification, and that basically you need to actually focus and control. And we talked about, it appears that once you become an adult, everybody wants you to put on your big boy pants or your big girl pants, which means that basically the government, already established that basically if you earn or create income in the United States, that is taxable. The banks, they encourage you to get a checking and savings account. Basically, part of your financial identity is actually circle around those things. So basically, they expect you to understand, the banking system. In order for you to invest, they suggest stocks and bonds and other types of vehicles that would, that would pay you assets in the future. And these financial institutions, I won't say that they basically try to hoodwink you, but then again, you look at their brochures, the big, bright, shiny stuff tell you how you can actually create, but they don't tell you the administrative fees and everything that's attached to those things. So we are not aware of being on the lookout because no one has actually, trained us. School teach you how to read, and basically, you go take math, and you take science, biology, and all these other things, which is vital to your existence. But I think being financially literate is just as vital. And I know there's a couple of states that's saying that basically they have a financial academic program, but it should be, statewide, that everybody should have access to that. And I'm not sure the information that they are giving you will make you a productive person that you could be able to make a conscious decisions to your advantage. So basically, that's what we do on the talk. One of the things I know for sure, there's a scripture said, "My people perish," in the book of Hosea, because of a lack of knowledge. So by listening to my podcast, hopefully you can be able to create a plan that will be beneficial to you and to your family. Basically, first of all, when you get in those stressful, anxious situation, do not make a decision. And what I mean by that is that don't wait till the last minute so you won't even incur more pressure and anxiety. So basically, prioritize your decision-making process. One of the things that we're going to talk about, some of the formulas that I know that will be able to help you put you in a better position. First of all, let's have a plan. As I stated earlier, people don't fail to do not plan to fail. They fail to plan, which means that basically, and I mentioned just before we had a break, there are 5 things that you have to be able to master for yourself. You have to understand what your income and your expenses are, what your assets and liabilities are. And what's the creative juice to all that is the cash flow, which is cash flowing in and cash flowing out. If you can master those 5 things, then you'll be well on to having the ways to calm your financial stress. And also, you have to be able to communicate. I know a lot of people, have difficulties in relationships because they don't know how to, they be so upset and they don't know how to express that with their significant others, whether it's a husband or wife or whether you're a partnership relationship. So you have to learn how to be able to communicate. And I found it's best to go outside of that relationship with some solutions to bring back. Because if both of you guys are on the same level, you're not going to be able to help each other. You need to be able to have somebody who have a little bit more knowledge about the situation than you. The number three, there's some things that's going to happen. It's going to happen anyway. You're going to have it replace a tire if you have a car. The transmission engine might go out because we're keeping our cars longer. We're not buying new cars because of the economy. The hot water heater is going to go out sooner or later. So I don't like to use the term emergency fund, but you have to create a fund that basically and I suggest that you put in a high yield savings account because you need to be able to get to it. Because if you get into some of these other CDs or money market account, they're not liquid enough for you to actually get your money out without taking a very severe penalty for early withdrawal. So you need to put it in a high yield savings account so you'll be able to get to it. You can't shy away from debt, whether it's credit card debt, which is ridiculous. The annual percentage rating that they actually did about 2 years ago. You might have been at 8 or 12. Now it's up to 18 or 24 or 36. But you need to face that credit card debt. And one of the ways they call it either the avalanche or the snowball effect. Avalanche is basically you take the highest interest rated debt and knock that out first, and then you take care of the smaller ones next. The snowball effect is take care of the small ones, which all depends on where you are income wise. You can actually see yourself eliminating the debts as you go, the slow way, and then the last one is your highest way. One of the things that you can actually do is, if you have rent or a mortgage or car note, put those on automatic payments. And that way, basically, you know that you are paying before that due date. So you get those big ticket items, I call, out of the way. And you can either put your utilities in your phone. That's an option. But those mortgage or rent in car notes, I think you need to go ahead and do those because those are vital to your success going to and from work. Looking ahead, which means that basically you don't want to work forever. I don't have to even expound on that. One day you will retire. One of the things that I mentioned in one of the prior shows is that you need to plan for retirement because that's going to happen. Now, whether your children will go to college or whether they go and start business or whatever they're going to do that you're going to plan to help them do in the future, that might not happen, but you will retire. So as you mark your priority is that should be priority one, that basically you're setting aside some investment that you can reap once you get 60, 62, 65. There is even a movement pushing the retirement up to 70 because basically we are in better health than we were, 40 years ago. So now we need to look at, that we are probably going to be working longer because of the financial situation that we are in right now. So let's plan for that. Most of all, if you're still struggling, even after listening to this podcast, you need to get some help. You can contact me at SKST at Gmail. Then, I can steer you in the right direction. But here's my 5 basic things, and basically I'm going to end the show with this. You have to be in a situation where you're earning or create an income. And income need to be steady, and whether you are in high school, which means that basically you need to start looking at careers that will help you in the lifestyle that you're planning, and also that should be a major college decision. Whether you could need to go to junior college or 4-year institution, or do I need to go to a private school institution, or do I need to stay around in the community? All those things have financial ramification, whether you're going to have anxiety or stress, or it could be a part of your plan. The main thing that you need to keep in mind, what is the return on your investment? Will I go to Yale to get a liberal arts education where I can actually do that at one of the state schools or state university? And what's the return on that investment? And I know that currently the president is eliminating some of the university college student loan debt. But we have to be very careful of that and be very skillful of that, because basically you still want to have a return on investment. And basically, I mentioned it before, how are you managing that investment? Which means basically knowing what your income and expenses are, knowing what is a true asset and what is a true liability. And next is leverage. If you don't have $350,000 or $500,000 or $1 million for the house that you're looking at, you're going to have to use some type of leverage. Now, how you manage your money will determine how much you can actually go to a financial institution and get a loan. I feel that home ownership is very important, but also feel that there are some ways that you can actually make that work for you. I won't get into that right now because my time is winding down. But with that, you need to have ways that you're protected by insurance. And basically, you need health, and you need life insurance, and you need, rent insurance, mortgage insurance, et cetera, et cetera. The next thing, I feel that you leave a legacy, which means that basically something that you can pass down to the next generation, whether it's your children or whether it's something, somebody or institution, et cetera, et cetera. So those are ways that you could calm your financial stress. Feeling tension and anxiety can be a normal situation, but the best way to actually counter that is having a plan. As I said before, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. So let's get our plan together. So because right now we should be preparing for the next tax season, which means that you're going to be getting all your receipts and all your pay stubs and all that stuff. Get your accordion folder and put all those things in place. So next tax season, you won't be under the stress. You won't be having that anxiety. You won't be worried. I thank you for your time, and hopefully that will lower the temperature of your financial situation. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.